For this step, we're going to be calculating bearings for our traverse. For the bearings, we are going to need to write down the correct balanced angles on our traverse, making sure that we cross out whatever angles are not going to be used or have been balanced. So make sure that we are using the correct balanced angles for this procedure. For this procedure, what we're going to start with is we're going to use our reference bearing. Every traverse has to have a reference bearing. In this case, it's southeast 80 degrees. And we're going to use this angle of 90 degrees, 60 minutes, and 26 seconds to be able to calculate our first bearing for this one line between the A and B line of this traverse. The way we're going to do that, we need to calculate or consider the fact that we have a southeast line, 80 degrees. So the 80 degrees is measured from the south 0-degree angle. So that's the angle that we have we're going to be used for considering this bearing. We're going to then use the given angle of 90 degrees, 16 minutes, and 26 seconds, and we're going to be solving for x. So in solving for x, you're going to simply subtract 90 degrees, 60 minutes, and 26 seconds, that's the angle that's given to us, minus 80 degrees, that's from our reference bearing. Once we calculate that, we're going to have an angle of x, 10 degrees, 60 minutes, and 26 seconds. With that being said, that's the angle we were needing for the bearing that's now in the southwest quadrant, 10 degrees, 16 minutes, and 26 seconds. Make sure you write that down on the appropriate line to then continue to the next step. The next step is going to be a little bit more complicated. Because of the fact that I have a line that's southwest 10 degrees, 16 minutes, and 26 seconds, I'm going to flip the direction from southwest to the northeast quadrant. And considering the fact that this x angle and this angle are the same, they're both 10 degrees, 60 minutes, and 26 seconds. This line will now be, I'll be using it at a northeast 10 degrees, 60 minutes, and 26 seconds. With that being said, I will then use this angle from my balanced angles of 86 degrees, 01 minutes, and 36 seconds. And in this case, because I'm solving for y, I'll simply subtract 86 degrees, 01 minutes, 36 seconds, minus 10 degrees, 60 minutes, and 26 seconds to get an angle of the y, 75 degrees, 45 minutes, 10 seconds. So since that's the angle, that'll be my bearing in the northwest quadrant. Northwest, 75 degrees, 45 minutes, 10 seconds. You'll use the same procedure for the rest of your lines on your traverse. Let me talk about this one here in particular. This is not part of the traverse that I'm using. This is just a random line showing you that in some cases, when you're going from the northwest quadrant to the southwest quadrant, or inversely from the northeast to the southeast quadrant, you have to consider 180 degrees. So with that being said, we have to consider that we have an angle of 13, 18, 29. Again, this is just for this example in the northwest quadrant, so that's our given bearing. Let's suppose that we have a balanced angle of 145 degrees, 38 minutes, and 58 seconds. In this case, it can't be just simply subtracting one from the other. What's going to happen is we have to consider that we have an angle of 180 degrees from the north to the south. Since we are solving for z, the angles that I have that are given to me are the bearing in the northwest quadrant, 13, 18, 29. The balanced angle of 145 degrees, 38 minutes, and 58 seconds. Since I'm solving for z, what happens is the full half circle is 180 degrees. So then from 180 degrees, I need to subtract the two angles that I'm going to add, the 145, 38, 58, the 13, 18, 29, add those two and subtract them from 180. The resulting angle will be 21 degrees, 02 minutes, and 33 seconds. That'll then give me my bearing in the southwest quadrant, 21, 02, 33. This is not part of this traverse, but in your traverse in particular, you might have the thing of having to subtract from 180 degrees. Using this technique and the other techniques that I previously explained, please complete the bearings and list them for our departures and latitudes calculation in the next step.